What's up, all my Hive fam? Happy Wednesday, or as they call it in Sweden, where my husband is from, happy mini weekend. That's right. They celebrate Wednesdays because it's a mini weekend because you're halfway to the weekend. I kind of like that because I like to have fun. And I think the weekdays are fun because we get to grind, we get to work harder, we get to get closer to our goals. And this episode is going to be epic. And I'm telling you that because I've been in crypto for a very long time, and opportunities like this only come around every so often, not very often. And I want everybody who watches this show to be able to seize this opportunity. Now, I'm not going to lie. There are some parts in this video that you might not like, but it's the hard, cold truth. And the silver lining of it is that maybe what we're about to discuss that's going to play out will play out a lot faster than, people may think, but it will create probably the biggest opportunity you've ever had in crypto since you got here, even the OGs, right? Like it's that type of opportunity. So we're going to go over a chart that nobody's talking about, some incredible different, points of confluence and indicators to show you what could happen to your beloved altcoins and just try to set you up for the best success possible. Now, I've seen a lot of sentiment, and we've been discussing on this show since Monday when we came on, that it just feels a little bit too bullish. Like it feels a little bit like people are just sort of expecting that the bottom is already in. When we have discussed and know by going over history that Bitcoin doesn't or hasn't previously bottomed like that. We potentially have one more leg to go. We've been talking about that a lot on this show. And actually, we've been talking about this pattern that I'm going to show you now that everybody has been talking about on X. And that's, sorry, and that's this one, okay? This pattern right here, everybody's been watching this. We called this out a long time before it actually got trending on X, as Rob has a very, very good talent for picking out patterns before they happen, saying big moves, loading. Well, since then, Bitcoin is currently breaking this pattern to the downside. So we're monitoring that right now. But we did give you guys this well beforehand, and it was in the group well before anybody was talking about it on X, because we like to play chess on this show. And another thing that I will say, guys, is I'm streaming to LinkedIn today. And LinkedIn is not normally where we stream anymore because we understand that they're separate audiences. But the amount of just C-levels, just all across industry-wide, people who are building, people who are getting into the industry, people who are getting jobs in the industry, they all want to know what's going to happen with Bitcoin, what's going on with altcoins, will they ever come back? How has it changed? I mean, I have these meetings daily with major chains, major projects, and I've seen different things. So I think that this information is not only helpful to traders and investors, but also people building and founders in the space, right? And so that is why I'm streaming to LinkedIn today. So if you're tuning in from LinkedIn, shout out to you. Eduardo, I see you there. Let's go. Jeannie, we can always count on you. What's up? Love to have you here. I love your spirit, and you're going to do very, very well. I'm so convinced of that. And then we've got Acha. Sorry, I don't know your name, but let's go. Guys, we're pumped for this show because we've got so much to show you. We've also been crushing it with gains in the group, some day trades as well as some, short scalp trades. So we're going to show you some of those results now. But that's the beauty of this, is in between all like the potential bloodbath that we're about to go over. That's right. You heard me properly. It could potentially, I'll give you a hint. Okay. Bitcoin, we could potentially see the bottom within the next month or so. But it definitely, I won't spoil it. I'll let Rob say it, but that'll also depend on what will happen with altcoins as well. And altcoins, I'm telling you, if you're wondering when is a good time to start looking at them, you're going to have a much clearer picture by the time you leave this show. That's what I can tell you. So everybody's tuning into the show now. You get to see this information before everybody's talking about it, before the move happens, and you can plan and prepare. And that is so important because this could be a generational opportunity. That's what I have to say, guys. So let's go over a little bit of news before we pull Rob up, and then we'll get right into it because I know you guys just want to know what's going on. But some interesting points of reference here. So altcoin selling pressures reach its highest level in history. For 13 consecutive months, alts have been sold nonstop with net selling volume over $209 billion. That's pretty hefty. Hyperliquid whales are bearish. Okay, interesting. I mean, they are ones that move the market a lot as well. Arizona's strategic Bitcoin crypto reserve fund bill passes the Senate Finance Committee and heads to the Rules Committee. So in the midst of this bearish sentiment versus we're in extreme fear, but it feels like influencers in the crypto Twitter echo chamber is all saying the same thing, that we're close to a bottom. It just feels to me that sentiment is not we're not there yet. Like we still have a little room to go, right? So Americans working two full-time jobs just hit a record high. Okay, World Liberty Fi having a massive event in Mar-a-Lago. We had a nice pump on that today. We called that out in group. And Russia offered $12 trillion in deals in exchange for lifting sanctions. Lots happening on the world stage, lots of tension, lots of things going on. So the cool thing is on this show, we are going to give you some time frames as well, as to, the next leg down for Bitcoin and also this generational opportunity for altcoins. Another interesting thing is the world reaches its highest level of uncertainty in history, surpassing COVID, the global financial crisis, and the dot-com bubble. I mean, that's pretty crazy stats. I'll show you the chart. I'm not sure what they base those metrics on. But I mean, it's sort of fitting for the times, right? It's the biggest level of uncertainty ever in the world, I guess. That's, again, I don't know what they base this on, but look at that spike. Look at that spike, the World Uncertainty Index. Again, what are the metrics? I don't know, but that's very telling in itself. So that's what's going on here. And also, you may have seen this chart circulating or things like this circulating everywhere. And this is what I'm talking about the sentiment. Now, this is not to single anybody out. And in fact, I do agree that these stats are probably true and that probably we're going to have an explosive run. I just don't think we're there yet, right? So the signal is fired once every 8 years. Last time this happened, you got a 20x. So, right, this could be correct, right? But the question is, when does that happen? And how far down do we go before that's a thing, right? And that's what we're going to answer on the show today. So I'm so excited. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Krikra, gotcha. Welcome to the show. Hello. Guys, let me know where you're tuning in from, what you're feeling today, what your sentiment is. We always check in with our traders too in the Hive to see how, a mentality check to make sure everybody's in line and, checking their emotions. So on that note, Rob, what's up?
Not too much. Just extremely excited about the markets right now. Just some of the things that are going to be happening, I just think is extremely exciting. Like the biggest opportunity of a lifetime is coming in crypto. And I go through X and stuff. I almost called it Twitter, but I go through X and this post right now, and I see nobody saying that the biggest opportunity is coming. Really, it's like the more and more you look at the charts, the more and more you can see the opportunity is coming. It's just having the patience to be able and to position yourself the right way to be able to get them, in my opinion.
Right. Oh, yeah. And it's so hard to have that patience because everybody just wants it now. Let's go. What's happening? Are we bottom? Are we not? But man, if this opportunity only comes around, I mean, once every several years, right? Or less, like this opportunity probably has never happened in crypto. To the extent that it could happen, or at least a very, very ultra low level. So I'm not going to give more away. We're just going to look at the charts with Rob, but don't be discouraged by the chart because this is going to create a phenomenal opportunity. And then you'll be able to make a plan before this potentially happens. Okay. So people are going to say if and when this happens, the tensions in Iran or the geopolitical, but no, you saw it in the charts first. And that news is sort of just going to be like the exacerbation of the move. And it was already building in the charts, right? So we're going to go over all those scenarios with Rob. And I know I say this a lot on all the episodes, but you are actually going to get the blueprint of potentially how this market could bottom out, both altcoins and Bitcoin, with potential timeframes. Now, nothing in trading is absolute and certain, but these are scenarios that could play out. And we're going to go over them so that you're prepared for them when they do happen. What do you say, Rob?
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the charts.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so we're going to jump right into the others market cap right here. So this is excluding the top 10 cryptos, and this is basically all your mid to small caps that you want to make a lot of money in. Now, right here, what you see on this area right here is a head and shoulders pattern that we did break in the weekly time frame, and we came up and we're basically bearishly retesting it right now. Now, whenever I look at that, that looks like it's extremely bearish, and we could be going down way lower. We're going to like pull just like a slight measure move off of it from right here, from head to neckline, and you move that right here. It gives you a bottom right about here where the bottom was before. So I am going to sit there and say we're going to do a little bit of prediction analysis right now, as of right now, that the altcoins still have some major time to go down and have some major room to run to the downside, with this making potentially a round the bottom again, like it did last cycle here, to hopefully get a potential round the bottom, which would make a double bottom. Now, if that does play out and we make a double bottom right here and we break into new all-time highs, our measured move is all the way up to $2.71 trillion. So from that level, if you got in down, if we go all the way down in there and up to this level and whatever altcoins that we're looking to get into at that time, you're looking at a major inflow of money going into the cryptos that are not the top 10 that are going to give you potential life-changing gains. Now, this chart I've actually paired with the halving event, so the 4-year cycle, to sit there. That's why some of these lines with times on here, I wanted to take that off there for a second, but let's go ahead and put the halving cycle blueprint on here. And I might take a second here for it to upload. For some reason, my computer is acting a little bit slow, and I don't know why. Come on.
It wants to keep the suspense up of what's going to happen with the altcoins, guys, because we're also going to give you some concrete examples or like potential scenarios, right? As Rob's computer loads here. And actually, Zach, hey, what's up? Welcome to the show. I know you were talking about USDT dominance last time, that you thought it would hit around 11%. Between 11 and 16, you're saying now. That would line up with, another leg down. So potentially possible. We may have another look at stable coins in a minute here. But what we are checking out right now is the altcoins, the total market cap, right, for altcoins, and what that could potentially do.
And for some reason now that chart does not want to work. All right, so we're gonna go back in the chart. We're gonna let that I wanted to give once that chart's done loading. Hopefully it's done loading, I could go into the next part that I didn't want to do just quite yet. But let's just go ahead and do this a little bit while we're waiting for that to see if that loads up. If not, we're gonna try it again in a different way. But anyway, so when that kind of takes place and that happens, we get that bottoming cycle there. We'll give the time on once the chart populates. I can give you the timing on it as well too with the 4-year cycle, but we need that to populate first. So what I'm going to be doing here is we're going to guesstimate that I used a indicator saying cycle bottom could be around $47,000, and we're going to sit there and use that idea as a potential guess of cycle bottom. It's not what everybody's saying, 40,000 or 30,000. It's not 50,000. I'm just giving there's a chart. I think Megan might be able to find it for us later. But that shows that. So I'm going to use that for a number as of right now. But this is our fib cycle that happens every year. We play a fib cycle, and every year we lose one of these right here. And so far or not every year. So two years we had like very explosives, and then after we broke the blue line, the last 2 years we lost the level. So we lost this explosive area. That was like our banana zone right here. We lost it. We only went up to the blue line. That's why we only had a smaller alt season. Then this year, we got up to the green line. We couldn't hold over it. We lost it. We never got up to the blue line. That's one of the reasons why alts did not explode. Typically, once you get up to that blue line, whenever alts like to explode, and above it, you get that banana zone where alts just go crazy. So I was just sitting there making a guesstimation on where this could go to. I was looking at 47,000. So I'm going to put the bottom at 47,000. And we know the top is right here, and the green line is at 160,000, and the blue line is at $226,000. So if Bitcoin next cycle gets up to $226,000 and 46K is our local bottom, or 47K is our local bottom, that would be our alt season level to where alts start going crazy. Now, the further we go down, the higher alt season has to go up. Now, say if we are at cycle bottom, we don't go any lower. Just to give an idea of, say, like 58K is our cycle bottom. Like we go one more leg down, and the weekly estimate 200 is the cycle bottom. We could sit there and say, we'll just go. I'm trying to move a little bit, get it right on 68K. We could say alt season will be whenever Bitcoin hits 190K. So it just depends where cycle bottom is exactly at. Right now, my guesstimation's right around 47K as of right now. Again, that's a guesstimation. We got to wait for signals to sit there to confirm that whenever that does happen, or if it does happen. So
right, and there is some interesting confluence for that. I agree, Rob, and I have the chart. I'm going to pull it up here now. But why I like the $47,000 level is because it's not like everybody's saying 40,000, right? And if it does go down to 47,000, everybody's going to say 30,000. They're going to say it's going lower, and that's when Bitcoin loves to bottom out, when everybody believes that the worst is yet to come. So I really like that number for that reason, just that reason alone, despite all the facts and the confluence. But then we have this chart here, which also points to that reference. I think this might be the chart you're referencing.
You have it pulled up?
Yeah.
Yes, that chart right there. So yeah, that's from Bitcoin Magazine Pro, and right there, it's just that one right there. It's just every cycle. That's been the cycle bottom right there. Pretty simple chart, pretty easy to read. You can't really argue with it. I mean, do we break that this time? Maybe. I mean, last year we broke the weekly SMA 200 for the first time, so anything's possible. But hey, it's a good reference point to use. That's why I'm using 47K, because that has so far had a 100% win rate.
Right. So the analysis here is every bear market Bitcoin tests the CVDD level price, and it acts as ultimate support. Right. So bear market bottom. So the current CVDD is at 47,000, exactly where the next Bitcoin price target is at. And this year we could break below the CVDD price for the first time in history, just like Bitcoin broke the 200 week. But that would be going against all of the other. This is like all of the other references we have in history, right? So, yeah, I think that's really interesting confluence to add to that $47,000 price tag that you got from other indicators.
Yeah, I think it's a very good one here. And whenever you see some of that high of a win rate, you can't ignore it and say it's going to be different this time. Like, yeah, of course, it always can be different. Anything can happen. Nothing's a 100%, but that does have a 100% win rate. So you just kind of got to go with it. And like right there, like say if you do take a buy on Bitcoin right there, anything underneath it is going to be a buy of a lifetime. So yeah, that's the way I would kind of look at it if it did go underneath. So but right there, that could be your local bottom buy. And again, one of the rules is you never go all in until you get more. You always go in with more confirmations.
That's right. And so CVDD, for those of you wondering, is for cumulative values days destroyed. So basically, it represents the on-chain Bitcoin valuation metric used to estimate long-term market bottoms. So it's just a different way to sort of gauge where the bottom's been based on history, right? And so, like, this is a hell of a confluence we have right here across multiple cycles in many years since 2011, right? So I find that interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely a very, very good one. I am trying to get that one chart still fixed up. I just about maybe have it. I had to sit there and go out of it.
Yeah, technical difficulties, guys, but this is a big show, so we have a lot of charts to show you, and we just like to show you the predictive analysis where this comes from, right? Because a lot of people sit there and they'll say Bitcoin's going to X, Y, Z, altcoins are doing this, but we have facts in the charts that back this up, and that is the cool thing. And we're going to say it before anybody else does. You're going to see it here first, and that's the goal with the channel here, right? So
leave you guessing. Like, we want you guys to be prepared, because I mean, we all want to make money together. We want you guys to be prepared as much as you can with as much data as you can, so you can make the most informed decision as you possibly can. Like, that's the whole idea, is to have the most data that you can to make the best decision for your life. Because I can't tell anybody what to do. You can't tell me what to do. I can't tell you what to do, but I can give you the facts and the charts. We can show you what happened before, and we can tell you what to kind of look for a good signal. And it's up to you to make the move and to manage your own risk after that.
Right. Absolutely right.
Working. All right, fantastic. All right, so this is the other. We're back to the others chart now. This is others / Bitcoin halving right now. So we put the Bitcoin halving on here, right? And if we come down here and fill up this circle right here, we get down to the bottom here. We have about every day. So from every cycle here, the Bitcoin halving, we hit around cycle bottom anywhere from 300 to about 300 days or so. So 300, 380 days, depending on which one we go to. So very, very strong correlation that's whenever the altcoins can bottom in, is about 300, 385 days. And we're already 100 days in. So not much further to go for altcoins. Now, it just, whenever you look at this right here, it just tells you a good time. It just gives you a good visual of when to wait to buy your altcoins. You want to buy them around the same time you want to start buying DCA and on Bitcoin right here, whenever Bitcoin basically usually hits its time frame on your cycle low or something like that. I don't want to say cycle bottom, because our bottoms could be in before then, and sometimes you come down, like right here, your bottom was in way before, and then it came back down, kind of double bottom, but never came back to that low here, which we're going to get into our next chart here, which is going to be the most scariest thing. But with that being said, this kind of pullback that we might be experiencing on altcoins could be a pretty extensive pullback, even though we've had so many pullbacks in altcoins and it's been going down. Going down to this level here is going to give us a lot better discount. I'm going to call it discount for right now. It's going to be like a fire sale on altcoins down here. A fire sale on top of the fire sale on top of the fire sale, basically, is what we're going to be looking at if we get back down into these areas that we're kind of looking at of getting down here with this head and shoulders measured move. The measured move is a slightly higher than all the way down in here. So it is also would be, if we only went down that far, that would be a slightly higher low, if you want to look at that as way too. So that would be a higher low double bottom as well too, which makes it even more bullish in my opinion if we don't go lower than the measured move that we just measured in front of you guys from the head to the neckline. All right.
Right.
So do we want to show them? We'll go into one more chart before.
Well, before then, though, let's clarify for all of you just tuning in, for those of you who are trying to digest what's actually being said here, right? There's a lot here. We have a lot of information here. Basically, what we're going over is the potential for the time frame in which Bitcoin and altcoins can bottom and how significant that pullback may be, so that you can get prepared to buy those altcoins in the biggest fire sale you probably potentially ever seen in your life, right? Because you do remember Solana that went down to $10. Right after the whole FTX thing and all the stuff that happened. So like this could be potentially like entering, I don't know, 2019, maybe, pre 2 bull runs ago. I don't know, like prices like that where you think, wow, they could never go back down to there again. So what you're looking at here is the crypto total market cap, excluding the top 10. So these are all the altcoins that are not in the top 10, not the mega large caps. These are the smaller ones, comparable to what could be your Russell 2000, which are like the penny stocks or the high risk stocks of the stock market. So these are all the others. All of you, a lot of you are holding a lot of these bags or confident in a lot of these projects, and you're wondering, will they ever make a run again? Well, that's what we're speaking about right now. So what I'd like to do, Rob, is do we have any sort of time frame analysis for when Bitcoin may bottom? Is there any way for us to know more or less when that could happen?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's this chart right here. This is the 3-day index chart on Bitcoin. Now, this is something that's going to be playing out rather sooner than later, like this month's kind of soon or next month kind of soon. And so this is what we have on here. We're going to make it very simple and plain. This is something that's happened to every single bear market. And this is also gave us our final leg down on every single bear market. This is the 3-day death cross, the SMA 50 going underneath to 200. So you see right here, we had that right here. One more leg down. That was our final leg down in 2014, right? We had this one right here. As soon as we had the death cross, just a little bit afterwards, we had our final leg down right there. And that was in 2018. That gave us our bottom. After that, we got our bottom in. Then last bear market as well, too. We had the death cross here, went sideways for a little bit, made a bear flag, kind of like what we're doing right now, making a little bit of a bear flag. There's a little simile right there. So
Yeah.
look at that cross. We have a potential cross coming in. We got the cross here, went sideways, made a bear flag. Then we got our final legs down. Then we kind of just went sideways just a little bit right there. That was a good impulse wave. Then we went slowly, like a slow grind down. That's whenever people were just getting kind of wondering. I would sit there and say that was a capitulation move right here, and that was just kind of like our double. That was like more of like that was like our final shakeout on the last.
Sort of like a double bottom, a weird double bottom. Yeah. And just so you guys know, for reference, that was 17,000 more or less on the first capitulation, and it went down to 15,200-ish area on the double bottom. So very, very close, right? Like you wouldn't be missing out on a huge amount if you got in on that first leg down, which was the ultimate bottom before a double bottom. So just to give you some context.
Yeah, just like basically that's like, yeah, it's like if you scaled in right there, you'll be happy. Like even if you bought right there, went down a little bit, then came back up at this time right now, you'd still be very happy at your position, basically.
Right. And you may be wondering, so what price is that? Well, if you just tuned in, you got to watch this whole thing because we literally just went over price analysis and predictive analysis, and we came up with around the $47,000 area would be a phenomenal buy for Bitcoin based on history and based on what these indicators are telling us, right? So to summarize, within 1 month, potentially, we may see that second leg down. And Bitcoin bottom could be a lot sooner, could be slightly after, but be prepared for that next leg down. And that's what we're expecting for Bitcoin, right? And so that's how we could potentially see this bottom happening. And then we could go sideways into accumulation before that next bull market happens. And this could potentially be, the last big leg down for a very, very long time. So a phenomenal opportunity. Then I guess the question is, what will be happening to altcoins?
Yes, that would be definitely the big question on altcoins right there. And just so you know, down here at 32 days, that's legitly from after the death cross to the bottom right here on these two right here, then to that bottom of that flag right there as well too. It was all within 33 to 32 days after the cross. We got that final leg down. And I just want to zoom in a little bit here so you guys can see that we aren't making the cross just yet. So sometimes you got to zoom in just a little bit. So we haven't made that cross yet. We still got a little bit of time here. So it's not going to be like tomorrow or anything like that. This is a 3-day chart. So every 3 days this closes, this will sit there and tell you at. And our next close is in 2 days and 4 hours. So every 3 days, your time. So you just go to the Bitcoin 3-day chart. You look to your right here. It's going to give you the time, 2 days, 4 hours on how long that is. Every time you see that, mark that in your calendar to check. Like I'm going to go on my phone, put my calendar, and 2 days from now, I want to at daily close, I need to flip to the 3-day chart and look at this, because if that cross happens, that means we're within 32 days, potentially 32 to 40 days, potentially, of getting the last leg down and Bitcoin bottom may be in.
Woo, those are big. That's a big analysis, guys. Big analysis, because this is the information. This is the golden nugget, right? This is the information everybody wants to know so that they can make better decisions, right? Whether you're an investor or a trader, I always say, and now is the time to talk about it. If you're watching and you're loving this analysis, first of all, smash a like, hit the subscribe, share this, because something's happening with X where they're not showing our streams there. So please do help spread the love and retweet and like it and stuff so we can get this out there. But also, the link to our trading group, our Hive trading group, is in the description below on Telegram. You'll be sent to our verification bot, where we have some like explanation of how to use it. It's very, very simple. You click start, you go to the bot, you sign up to BYDFI, no KYC necessary, just use your Gmail. Our affiliate code is already pasted in there. No need to copy the link over. And then you copy and paste your user ID, hit verify, and you are in for free. I mean, that is like right now, to be able to know this information in real time and have the analysis and the charts and the setups that Rob and his talented team post in the group. Wow. And I'm posting news and alpha 24/7, guys, and we're smashing it. We're getting gain after gain after gain in the group. It is still free for you until March 1st and potentially earlier, because when we get our website out and our masterclass out, then, we're going to rock and roll, and it's going to be a whole nother ball game. But we want to give our early supporters a perk by letting you in the group for free. And we have an incredible community, just incredible. And we absolutely love spending time there and helping mentor. All levels are welcome, beginner, intermediate, advanced. The strategies we use are actually applicable across all different levels. So that being said, you got to get in the group. There is no excuse. There is no more time to waste, guys. You cannot miss this. You cannot mess this up. That's it. So this potential cross. So you're saying every couple, like 2 days, and what was the exact time you used?
2 days and 4 hours. You want to be checking for the 3-day close to see if we're getting that crossover. And after that, I mean, there is a time when you go in here and you can kind of look. Let me find it. Where after the cross, I don't think it's this one. That one there, we're really close. After the cross, we came back up. Bears should retest it and then fall, but we were so close that we would actually, that'll be like a bear market type of rally, basically. Where this one here, I'm looking through. Do we have one like that? I thought I saw one here. I remember seeing something. Maybe not. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe it was on a different chart. Sorry, I look at tons of charts. So of course we'll be looking at different charts to sit there and find to have the best DCAs in as well too. We always use Confluence, but I'm not forgetting about the other charts. You can use them as Confluence as well too to help you DCA in. And of course, once the bottom's in, once that does happen, say the bottom is in, there's always accumulation time too. So it's not like, hey, I have to go all in right now. If you don't have enough money, you want to get a bigger buy-in. That's okay, because like say that comes up and kind of comes back down, you just start buying pullbacks after that, and that's gonna be your best. That's like those are the times you want to buy the pullback. Those are the times you want to buy the dips after that last capitulation, because those are usually your best times to buy the dips. Kind of like if you would have bought down here, then you started buying dips after that, you actually would have got a good DCA last bear after that right here. If you would have just DCA through that whole time, 32 days afterwards, you would have had a great DCA at the local bottoms if you're buying pullback at that time, and you would have had great profits at 120K.
Right. And this is cool for people who want to time their long-term bags better. But like I would say, pair your, like I have a long-term bags that I use this analysis to get better entries for, but I also have a trading portfolio where I can compound my gains, guys. It has been so powerful and just so empowering to learn these skills. I see Jeannie's excited. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And our masterclass is dropping soon, where you can learn all of these skills and really get into depth into Rob's simple, but powerful strategies that will help you level up your gains and, manage your risk better and all of that stuff, that you'll have those skills, forever. And so it's a very good investment in yourself. In fact, right now, it's not even an investment. It's free. And for signing up to BYDFI with any deposit, guys, I'm talking anything, $1, $5, $10, you get a $100 bonus, which is not normal in any exchange. And so we have a great relationship with them, and they want to reward people who want to learn how to trade and get their feet wet. So you just have to make the deposit and transfer it to your futures account. And if you don't get your bonus, you can DM us in the group. Okay, so that's that. But so a couple of questions on my mind, Rob.
Yeah.
We see now where Bitcoin may bottom. the potential price that Bitcoin may bottom at, and the time frame. Then we go back to the altcoins. So that chart that you were showing is, again, I want to stress this is others, meaning apart from the top 10. Now, if we get a drop of that magnitude, what kind of percentage drop could that look like on one of the coins outside the top 10? Is there any way to sort of get any kind of idea of that?
I think on this drop here, particularly, it's going to be really hard to gauge. I honestly, in my opinion, I think it's going to be very, very painful and very significant. Not just due to like this TA perspective right here. Like I think this next this next leg down is going to be pretty massive red here. So we might be getting to that potential bottom really fast. And I'm going to go back to this chart here and say on my birthday, we start getting this cross on my birthday, February 23rd, and it's lasts about 30 days. This next leg down of this red here, the whole next month, the month of March, right? We have, I'm not sure if you have it or not, but the biggest unlock in altcoins is next month of this whole year. So during this time here, FA wise, we're having more unlocks, the biggest unlocks there is in history. I'm not sure if you can find that or pull that up, but that is also happening during that same time after that bearish cross on Bitcoin. And right now, what we are doing is we are bearishly. So we've been waiting for a suckers rally, right? And I had to sit there and kind of look at it. Is the last weekend Monday we talked about last weekend how last week we nailed a bunch of longs, right? And I went in there and it almost looks like if you measure up from like bottom to the tops, the local tops, local bottom and local top, we had like 40, 50, 60% gains on some alts, and they were very nice runners. Was that our suckers rally to get everybody kind of saying when those lows break, it's just going to scare everybody out, get everybody's stop losses out, and then we're going to have massive unlocks on top of it all next month. So
yeah,
that's kind of that there's gonna that's the downside. Like, yeah, I'm really excited, but I don't hold any of these coins, so I'm excited because I get to buy the next dip if it happens, and if not, I'll just buy a little bit higher than it is right now. But if you are a holder, the one way I would sit there and look at it as you have a potential chance to DCA your bag like no other after next month, during the end of next month or something like that. So I'll definitely, if you're in a token, figure out what the unlocks are on it. See if any of them have any they're called cliffs. So be researching that. I do research cliffs myself as well too, because I don't want to be buying something that has a bunch of massive cliffs still ahead of itself. Because I mean, that's just a simple. I mean, why are people bullish on Bitcoin? Because of supply and demand, right? If a token has massive cliffs coming up, there's going to be a lot of dilution. Hello. Hello.
Oh. Sorry, guys, I froze. It seems like they just want to keep you in suspense right now. All of our technology just wants to keep you guys in suspense. You can hear me now, okay, right?
Yep.
Okay, so here's my thing. I just put up your March token unlock thing. I think that like when token unlocks come in bear markets, one of two things can happen. Either it can amplify the move and make the move to the downside that much more because people who are getting those unlocks, they're just like want to get out because they believe that maybe it will never go back up, or they just want to get instant liquidity, or they've been waiting for so long. And the other thing is they might not sell at all because it's at an all-time low, they believe, and they want to wait for it to ride the wave. So it could go one of two ways, but any kind of pressure during a bear market and low caps will be magnify that move on an altcoin, right? So I do think it is significant, something to pay attention to and add more confidence to the fact that we might see this massive crash happen. Now, what that could equate to in some of your altcoins, I mean, pretty big deal, So now you're getting the information now. You can make a decision now. So our whole thing was maybe we were going to get this bear market rally where you could then decide, okay, do I want to offload some of these bags, or do I want to just, wait for this crash and double down? But Rob, what we're thinking now is that potentially that suckers rally or bear market rally has already happened, and potentially we just go sideways before this crash.
Yeah, there is that potential there. I can paint there is still that Bitcoin 12-hour chart, which we can go back into, that we're going to be keeping an eye on group. Maybe we do have another suckers rally as well too before this, because we're still pretty long way from the end of the month till next month. So let's just go ahead and we'll just go right back into that Bitcoin 12-hour chart right here. We are still in that pattern. We still could come back down, make bullish divergence on the RSI. Our Stosh RSI is now underneath, going into bearish momentum mode right in here. So we are getting those signals that, hey, we're getting our next leg down in the 12-hour time frame. We are short in Bitcoin right now. We posted that on Monday that we were looking for that bear flag to break down. We have bearishly retested the 4-hour SMA 50 7 times I counted that gave people a chance to get in as well too. So that right there, and that can, the question is, again, do we get a bigger sucker? Like this is where my question pens right here for end of month of this month. So we know we still have some time for that 2-day death cross, right? So we don't have the major capitulation until afterwards. So we don't have that major pullback until after my birthday or during my birthday. I always lost money trading long on my birthday, so I always trade
Which is
short.
very, very soon, guys. It's literally next Monday, so it's not far away.
So my question is, on this 12-hour chart here, do we come back down, make a higher low, get some bullish divergence on here that pushes us up to this trend line that's up here, or don't we? Like that's my big question. Like me, I would rather just rip the Band-Aid off, let it all drop, get it out of our way, and just get the pain in, because it's easier to sit there and just buy the dip later on and just do that, in my opinion, than a slow, like, what I don't want personally, because I think it's the most painful, but if it does happen, it happens, we trade it anyway, is let me go ahead and do this right here to this right here. I just don't really want like some kind of weird sideways thing that we kind of go sideways like that and go up. But that would take all next month to sit there and play out for something like that. And with that signal with the 3-day bearish cross, I just don't see something like that playing out. I see it being more dramatic. I see stops getting hit, and I just see a bunch of liquidations. I could with that type of move, and just everybody getting shaken out, and that's going to cause a lot of fear in the market. And I think at that point there, if that does happen, it's going to cause a lot of people to capitulate at the lows at a very big loss.
So if you're listening to this, this might be like a gut punch, this might be gut wrenching to you. And I understand your fears. I know a lot of you are just starting in crypto, or maybe you're over leveraged, or, you invested, and since then you thought we were going to get this massive altcoin rally and we didn't get it. I feel you. I hear you, and we're here for you. And my message to you would be, look, this is hard to hear now, but if you do remember, it was not too long ago where Bitcoin bottomed at $17,000. Now, when it did that, I did buy at that level, and I held my breath, and I just went in and I bought, and everybody was saying that it was going to go a lot lower from there. But this is that same scenario. Okay. It did go a little bit lower to 15,000, nothing in the grand scheme of things. Okay. So what I'm saying is, don't get discouraged. This industry is going to thrive. It's going to be the standard. I mean, Bitcoin could become the world reserve currency. I mean, this is just a better way of doing things. It's the next way of doing things. As Ray Dalio published, this is, the changing of an entire world order and a crumbling of the old world order. And so don't get discouraged about this. See it as an opportunity. If you're a long-term holder and you're really down, I mean, this is, in the grand scheme of things, not a long time to take for this to play out, right? If we potentially hit the bottom in the next month and go sideways until, November, December, January, that is not that long to wait, and then potentially we get, another bull run. And this industry is going to do very, very well. And I do believe that a lot of the altcoins are going to do very, very well as well in the future. So that's it. Just take this as an opportunity. If you feel like you could have done better, get in the group, learn how to compound your gains, learn how to make money before we get that crash, so that you can invest a little bit or do whatever your strategy tells you, right? Whatever your plan is. But just take this as an opportunity and see it as something that, like we wouldn't have gotten otherwise. And maybe everything changes because of this. Look at this pattern that's potentially playing out. I mean, this is crazy. When was the last time this happened? I mean, that other bottom over there, when was that last time that we got those low numbers for alts, Rob?
I mean, that was back in, let me get this out of here. This is back like in 2023, December 2022.
Right. Right. And so we're getting that opportunity once again to come back down to a lot of those lower levels for people who feel like they missed out. And guess what? Here we are again, another opportunity. Will you seize it? Will you act? Will you do something about it? Or will you let it pass you by? And will you let fear and emotions get the best of you and all of your echo chamber on X? Or will you look at the facts and, be able to say, hey, I want to see now, I want to rip the Band-Aid off, and I want to absolutely excel and crush it, because you can. And you're right there. And tuning into this is just the first step.
And the biggest thing is like the one thing that like I always sit there and say, every bull market, every bear market I go through, what do I learn? And you sit there and write down what you learned this market. The one biggest thing I learned in this market, I'm going to sit there and say what I've learned. The trend is your friend till the end. Like, I know that's a simple saying, but every time I say that, I see people trading against the trend, and I'm sitting there posting all these wins, and I see people losing or not trading because they don't understand that I'm trading with a trend, and it's very simple. Two, the other thing I learned is don't listen to anybody. Listen to the charts. Like, I'm not sitting there saying that this is going to happen. I'm sitting there showing what the charts are saying, and they're going to be the biggest things right there. I'm not hiding anything. Whenever we flip, and also admit what kind of market you're in. Like, don't flip to, like, whenever we flipped and said this is confirmed bear market, we're done. We've been killing it in shorts ever since then. Ever then, we were trying to get that last little rally in. We're trying to get that last nice long in, but it never happened. And we've been shorting ever since. And we've been making a killing off of shorting since we admitted it was a bear market. Now, once this flips around and everybody's sitting there saying we're in a bear market, and it's going up and up over here. We're still in a bear market, and people will be sitting there saying, "Oh, it's up. It went down to 47K up to 55K. Oh, it's a bear market. It's a bearish retest. It'll get up to 90K. It's a bear market. It's a bearish retest. It'll get up to 100K again." And everybody's saying, "Oh, after the bearish retest of 100K, it's going back down to 30." You'll be hearing those the whole bull market. So just know what a bear market is. Know what a bull market is. Look up the definitions for yourself on Google if you want, or you can AI it. Just ask what the definition is and take that as your concrete evidence. A bear market is whenever you're underneath the 1-day SMA 200 and you're down, I think it's 20% with a certain period of time. Now, the same thing is going to be with the bull market. You're up so many percentage after the local bottom, and it's been sustained, it's holding, and you're above the 1-day SMA 200. Now you're in a bull market. You got to admit to it's a bull market, and you have to make rules to trade with whatever kind of market conditions that you're in. If you're sitting there, like we went over in group on how to trade the RSI. The reason we're nailing these moves is because I'm teaching people, all right, everybody's looking for overbought RSI to get into trades, but overbought is 50 and 60, not 80 in a bear market, because we're in a bear market range. And I'm showing this stuff. I'm also showing this stuff in group as well too, teaching it. And it's from Fidelity, not even from me. These aren't my rules. I sat there and did my research. I went through the pain. I went and did my own research, and I looked up Fidelity. I looked up the bigwigs, how they trade, and this is their rules. So I just took their rules, and I'm just showing everybody in the group. So it's amazing difference when you just sit there and you're just honest with what the market is and what the charts are telling you to trade it the correct way.
Right. And I saw this the other day, and it resonates a lot. The charts don't care about your bias. They don't. The price will play out how the price is going to play out. And this is what we're seeing in the charts and the patterns and the confluence and all of that. And Rob is just a phenomenal, his brain is wired to be able to see these patterns and to see these moves and the potentials before they happen. And so we wanted to bring this to you on YouTube as nobody's looking at this. This is the others chart. I can't help but stress that enough, because that's going to create phenomenal opportunities, right? Because they're much more volatile, because they're much more low cap. Zach, I see you say, did I see that Michael Saylor, the CEO of MicroStrategy, said 8K is their danger level? So I did see that. And basically what he was trying to emphasize is that even if Bitcoin were to go down as low as 8K, they'd still be okay, and they'd still refinance it, roll over the debt, whatever that may be. Now, he wasn't saying that because he believes it's going to go to 8K. In my opinion, he was saying it because he wants to stop the people that are saying that, oh, MicroStrategy will get liquidated at 57K or 40K or whatever it is. And then he did say as well, that the whole mentality, and this is also Tim Draper's mentality and a lot of great investors' mentality, is it's either going to zero or it's going to work. And if it's going to work, it's going to just massively grow from here. I mean, I don't want to use the word infinite, but like it's going to keep expanding and expanding. It's a limited supply. And, we're getting nations adopting institutions, sovereign wealth funds. So I mean, that's what his point is there. And you have to remember, people who speak on TV, like Michael Saylor, like Tom Lee, who are the CEOs of foundations or funds or ETFs, their job is to get people excited about this technology and, kind of cut the fear mongering. So they obviously want people to invest in these products. They want people to buy their stocks and things like that. So they do have, a reason for doing that. But also, I agree with it to some extent. It's like, they're prepared for this, and they have like the runway to do so. Now, some of the stuff he's saying might sound alarming, and potentially it is, but my point there is I would just tune out the noise, because there's going to be a lot of that noise and a lot of people worried about a lot of different things. And again, when we get to that $47,000 level, around those levels, right? We're not predicting an exact amount here, but people are going to be saying it's going to go way, way lower. It happens every single time. And peak fear comes in again. I mean, I don't know how much fear we could get more, but apparently we're already at peak fear, which it doesn't feel like. And again, my point is tune out the noise, focus on the signal, guys. And I think everybody's going to be just fine in this space.
Yeah, I mean, just be ready and saying we have a horrible drop next month. Don't let that like a lot of people might be saying like, oh man, don't let that cause fear in you. Let that information, let that data prepare you. Like it's more about being prepared than being like once you become a trader, these analyses are more for preparation than anything. Be prepared for the next move. Be prepared for this type of thing that most people say can't happen or won't happen. Be prepared for that to happen. And here's the chart, and here's why it could happen and why it might happen. So we gave some FA, we gave some charts on it, and it's up to you to make a decision on how you want to act on it. If you're afraid it's not going to go lower, then your plan is to DCA on those bags and be ready and to get as much money as you can to DCA the month during the end of next month or probably the next 2 to 3 months. If you are a good trader and you want to talk to your tax attorney or talk to your tax guy and see if it's worth taking a loss before for the next dip, then that's up to you. But be ready to get back in higher in case it doesn't play out, and be prepared for that as well too. And don't get left in the dust, because that's also, I mean, this could completely be wrong as well too, and potentially something could be different this time because it is a market and everything is speculation, and there is no 100% guarantees in anything.
Right. And so we're just going off previous data, previous models, and, sort of mapping out what the future could hold here, and predictive analysis based on patterns and fractals and different things, guys, right? Like fib levels, all that stuff. So if you want to learn about this, you've got to get in our group first and foremost. The link is in the description. You'll be sent to our verification bot, our support channel, where we teach you how to just get in with the bot. It's very, very easy. You sign up with BYDFI. We give you $100 bonus, trading bonus, to learn how to do this. So that's our gift to you until March 1st. It's free. And you'll also get access to a free beginner's trading guide in that group. Gold. I mean, that'll help you really just fine tune your skills and review and all the stuff, and get ready for our masterclass, and get ready. You heard Rob here. 1 to 3 months, guys, to get money to be able to buy the dip, right? To be able to plan, to be able to DCA, whatever your strategy is. Let's go out there and hustle and be ready for it. If you're not ready for it already, now you have the information. Knowledge is power. So I think this was a very, very powerful episode. We gave a lot of information. You might have to go back and watch it a couple times. I will try time stamping it because I do think it's an important video. And on that note, guys, we're not doing crypto and cocktails on Friday this week because I'll be traveling actually for one of the the people who are powering our course are going to collaborate with us. Can't wait to announce that. And I'm going to have a meeting with them. So we will do crypto and cocktails tomorrow. So any questions you may have about the analysis from today, or maybe following up on what Bitcoin's doing, whatever that may be, roll up with your favorite cocktail, coffee, whatever it is, matcha, green tea, all the stuff. And we're going to have a lot of fun tomorrow before the weekend. That'll be our last slide before Monday. So on that note, Rob, any last words here?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to all of our traders in group who's been killing it. We got somebody who got our APT short. We got somebody who got our deep short we had in there. That's my deep short. One of them I take profits there. Somebody got a INT short. We had some ZIL, we had ZIL post in there. We had a ZIL short going on there. Somebody else got it as well too. I believe this is your MON short. We had Mon. We had multiple entries on Mon. We killed it in Mon long, killed it in Mon short. Somebody else got a deep short as well too that we posted in group. We did a lot of deep shorting and Mon shorting. They were pretty easy tokens to short. Let's see here. And I just want to give a shout out to those traders in there, and great job. Stack those gains, compound them gains, and get them ready to buy the dip, in my opinion. Good job.
Oh,
good.
Yeah.
Oh, we had somebody got jelly long. We posted an idea on there as well too. So just a lot of good bangers, winners in there, and we have just been killing it in group. So if you're not making money as of right now, if you're scared to trade in a bear market, well, remember, it's a bear market. You trade short, and it's just like trading long. You just inverse the charts, and you make the same amount no matter what. So no fear in our. We just have gains in our group. Just no fear.
That's right. And if you're afraid to trade long, don't be. We teach you how to do that in our course, but also ask questions. You just start to get comfortable with it, because you'll be able to make a lot more money if you can trade both ways. And we do really just teach you how to do that. And it's a great, and we have a lot of new members in the group. So shout out to you. Don't be afraid to chat with us in the group, and also to share your wins, share your losses too. We help people come back from any type of situation and learn how to get better. So guys, we're just a really great, thriving community in there, 500 plus members strong, and we're happy to continue to grow with you. So thank you so much for tuning in and supporting us. And I think that's it, right, Rob?
Yep, that's it.
All right. So we will see you guys tomorrow for Crypto and Cocktail Thursday this week. pull up with your favorite drink, and we will, recap some of this and then have a look at some of the charts and end the week strong, getting ready for Monday, Rob's birthday, where, all the action happens historically. That's a historical reference.
I
Based on
just remember I've always lost money trading long on my birthday. So it's either I don't trade or I short, one of the two.
That's it. So we'll be keeping you posted. So maybe, so tomorrow might be the last one for a while because Rob might be out on his birthday. So tune in tomorrow. You must be here. Thank you guys all so much for supporting, tuning in. We love to see you here, and we will see you tomorrow.